You're fine. Everything is fine. The meeting is running a little long, but that's okay. Your coworker is talking, and the words are coming out of their mouth, and you're nodding, but somewhere around the fourth minute, you stop actually hearing what they're saying and start noticing that the clock on the wall is moving extremely slowly, and that the person next to you is chewing something, and the sound of that chewing is becoming genuinely unbearable, and you don't know why you feel this way, but something inside you has shifted, and the world has gotten slightly smaller and slightly more irritating, and you are one minor inconvenience away from saying something you will absolutely regret. You weren't angry an hour ago. Nothing bad happened. Nobody wronged you. You just haven't eaten since this morning. And somehow that turned you into a completely different person. Here's what's actually happening inside you when that shift occurs. And once you understand it, you'll never see a bad mood the same way again. Your brain runs on one thing, not willpower, not personality, not mood, glucose. Pure sugar pulled from your food, delivered through your blood, used to power every single thought you have. Every decision, every moment of patience, every time you chose not to say something unkind, all of it runs on glucose. And when you haven't eaten, that supply starts dropping. Your blood sugar falls, and the moment it does, your brain does something that should make you feel slightly less guilty about every argument you've ever had while hungry. It starts rationing. The parts of your brain that handle complex thinking, emotional control, and patience are expensive. They burn a lot of fuel. So when fuel gets low, those are the first systems to get dialed back. What's left running? The older parts, the faster parts, the parts that were built not for polite conversation, but for survival. Here's where it gets interesting. Your body treats low blood sugar as an emergency, not a minor inconvenience, an actual biological crisis. Because for most of human history, running out of food didn't mean being annoyed at a slow lunch order. It meant something had gone wrong. It meant the hunt failed. It meant the group hadn't eaten in days. It meant danger was close, so your body responds the way it always has to danger. It releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, the same chemicals that flood your system when something frightens you. Your heart rate nudges up. Your senses sharpen slightly. Your tolerance for anything that wastes time or energy drops to almost nothing. You are not just hungry, you are, chemically speaking, in a mild version of the same state your ancestors were in when things were going badly wrong. Which explains something strange. It's not just that you get irritable when you're hungry. It's that the specific things that irritate you when you're hungry are very particular. Small obstacles feel enormous. Waiting feels intolerable. People who are moving slowly feel like a genuine threat to your survival. A queue at a coffee shop becomes a personal insult. None of this is rational. All of it is ancient. Your brain in that state is not asking the question, is this actually a problem? It's asking a much older, much faster question. Is this in my way? And if the answer is yes, remove it. That's not a character flaw. That's a system doing exactly what it was designed to do. There's a word for this. Hangry. Everyone knows it. Everyone has felt it. Most people assumed it was just a funny way of describing being grumpy before dinner. It is not funny. The anger is not in your head. It is in your blood. It is a real chemical state, and it is running you. But here's the part nobody talks about. It's not just anger. When your blood sugar drops, your brain's ability to make good decisions drops with it. Not slightly, measurably. A judge, sitting in court before lunch, hands down harsher sentences than the same judge after eating. Same case, same crime, different verdict. Couples in relationships pick more fights when their blood sugar is low, not because they're unhappy, because they're empty. People shown photos of strangers and asked to rate how likable they seem, they rate them lower when hungry. The stranger didn't change. The hunger did. You are not just moodier when you're hungry, you are a measurably different version of yourself. Less patient, less generous, less capable of giving people the benefit of the doubt. And the most unsettling part is that you usually don't know it's happening. That's the piece that catches most people. You don't sit there thinking, I'm hungry, therefore I'm being unreasonable. You think, no, this is actually genuinely annoying, and I have completely valid reasons for feeling this way. The hunger creates the emotional response. Then your brain generates a perfectly logical sounding story to justify it. And because the story sounds logical, you believe it. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The hunger doesn't just create the feeling, it writes the story. Your brain picks a target, a person, a situation, a thing that's in your way, and builds a completely convincing case for why that thing is the actual problem. The irritation feels justified, the frustration feels earned, the anger feels real, and it is real. It's just pointed at the wrong thing. You've probably had arguments that were really just lunch. Here's what makes this interesting rather than just embarrassing. The reason this happens so easily, the reason the system is so quick to trigger, is because speed mattered. In the world your body was designed for, a slow response to a falling food supply wasn't cautious, it was dangerous. The animals that got upset fast, that got motivated fast, that stopped tolerating delays fast, those were the animals that found food before it was too late. Their urgency kept them alive. Your irritability is inherited urgency. It's a survival mechanism that got passed down so many generations, it's now completely automatic. It fires before you can think about it, before you can choose to override it, before you even notice it's happened. Which means the next time you find yourself unreasonably annoyed by something completely minor, before you decide that the thing in front of you is the problem, it's worth asking one question first. When did you last eat? Because there's a version of you that's patient, reasonable, and genuinely fine with how the day is going. That version of you exists. It's just waiting for a sandwich.